I wanted to come on here and quick make a video while I got some time. I wanted to make this video about, I guess it's kind of about staying patient, but not trading as much as people think. I think a lot of people try to trade every single day, or at least I definitely did for a long time of my trading career. But the more that I go on and I trade, the more I realize that I should not be trading every day. I trade less days in a week than anything else. This last week in September, I think it was the third week into September, and or the second. It was a very slow week. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys traded as well, but it was with FOMC, the cut Fed rates, and it was just a really whack week. Price action seemed to be all over the place, and my setup just didn't form. For Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I just really didn't see shit. I just sat on the charts for 2 hours in the morning every single day and just didn't take anything, and Friday rolled around and I was same thing, expecting not to take a trade just because Fridays usually kind of blow, and the whole week was shitty. And I was starting to think to myself, how patient is patient? Is too patient. How patient is too patient? I know I'm waiting for my setup and yada, 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 but how picky is too picky? It's kind of what I was getting at. And, at the end of the week on Friday, I ended up taking a trade, and I faded a really good setup just because, I don't know, it just didn't seem great to me. It was good. It just didn't seem great. And then I saw my friends took it, so I took a shitty trade. I lost. And that moment really led me to kind of like blow up in my own way. Luckily not on the charts, but just like take a step back and be like, damn, like, one, I'm not perfect, and two, I was finally able to like see my weakness, which are my emotions, because I thought I had those worked out so well, but I don't. And that actually helped a lot. But the bigger point of this video was to kind of like identify taking way less trades than you actually think you should be taking, and not trying to force out a trade once a day. Once I stopped tailoring that back and started looking for way more perfect trades, like exactly what you might think is you start taking better trades and you start becoming more picky, you stop losing so many of the trades. For a long time, I just kind of thought, well, even if I lose the trade, I kind of want to like forward test in a way, or I want to see if this would work or if this wouldn't work, or I just want to maybe, see how I manage my emotions on this and all this and that. But that's all just kind of bullshit, because, you want to practice how you play. And if you're just doing like all of this like nonsensical trading for like the emotional aspect or like what other part, it doesn't make sense. It's not helping you really. You know what I mean? Like, you should just be practicing exactly how you're going to be playing. So it's like you are trying to throw a football farther and farther every day, but instead of just throwing the football, you're training, putting a band around your arm and throwing the football, when in reality, all that's doing is just creating like an easier way for you to throw that football, an easier way to like for that resistance training. It doesn't necessarily correlate exactly 1-to-1 on throwing the football. You should just throw the football. Fuck the resistance training, fuck the band training, fuck all that shit. You should just throw the football. That's probably the best analogy I really have for it. And that's kind of what this week has kind of been for me. It's just a lot of staying patient, doing exactly how I want to play and how I want to trade. And yeah, did I take a really shitty trade on Friday because, of unrelated factors? Yeah. But I guess that's what this week also played into, because I waited the entire week for this trade. I knew it was a test and I still failed it somehow. You know what I mean? And that's just unfortunate, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Oh, hold on. Weird. But, in the same light, I'm also very proud of myself for not giving in to like previous days or or even having my own conviction on that Friday as well, just being able to not trade and just wait for my perfect setup. I'm still unprofitable on a day-to-day basis. So I'm still, I'd say, on a week-to-week basis, on any basis really. I kind of just want to document and show you guys my journey too. And people who are going through the same things as me, thinking, am I being too patient? Am I being too picky? All that stuff. I think you aren't. I trade ICT concepts, like I've said, and PB Blake is a lot of everything I pretty much learned from. And for what he goes through and what his trade recaps really help a lot. And seeing that he does the same stuff. He waited all week for that one trade on Friday or whatever. And, that helps a lot. So I just kind of wanted to come on here, throw this up as like a video journal, let you guys know that trading every single day is not ideal. You guys should not be doing that 2 or 3 times a week. Whenever your model presents itself, it could be 0 times in a week, which should have been for me. But I let my emotions get the best of me. That's kind of why I'm coming on here and preaching it. So anyways, see ya.